Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 7. It's not about being famous. It's about doing the work, and doing it well. Those were the quiet words once used to describe Jim Mitchum, a man whose career spanned more than 60 years, not because he chased the spotlight, but because the craft called him back again and again. Jim Mitchum, who passed away at 84 after a long illness at his home in Skull Valley, Arizona, leaves behind a cinematic legacy woven through decades of unforgettable films. From his early days as a child stepping onto the set of Colorado Territory, to sharing the screen with his legendary father Robert Mitchum in the cult favorite Thunder Road, his presence on film was calm, steady, and memorable. He appeared in over 30 films, gritty dramas, stirring war epics, sun-soaked surf tales, and classic westerns. Titles like The Beat Generation, In Harm's Way, and The Victors showed his range. Moonrunners, the film that inspired the Dukes of Hazzard, gave fans a glimpse of his ability to lead a story with charm and strength. And in the spaghetti western Grand Canyon Massacre, he carved out his own space apart from his family name. While comparisons to his father followed him naturally, Jim was never one to seek attention. He carried the Mitchum name with quiet grace, letting his performances speak for themselves. Off-screen, he was described as gracious, grounded, and loyal to the people he worked with. Fellow actor Christopher Mitchum, his younger brother, once said, "Jim never chased fame. He chased a good scene, a good story." That pursuit made all the difference. To his fans, he offered a timeless sense of cool. To the industry, he was a reminder of a golden era, still flickering in modern cinema. Whether on screen in a dusty western town or behind the wheel on Thunder Road, Jim Mitchum delivered truth in every role. Jim is survived by his family, including generations of actors who carry forward the Mitchum legacy. Though he kept a private life, the impact of his work remains public and lasting. Tributes to Jim Mitchum. Number 6. How lovely to be in full possession of one's faculties, Patricia Routledge once quipped, delivering as always a line with perfect timing and wit. That sharp humor and heartfelt depth defined a career and a life shared generously with audiences across the world. Patricia Routledge has passed away peacefully at the age of 96. Her death marks the end of one of the most cherished voices in British television, theater, and musical comedy. She will forever be remembered as Hyacinth Bucket, the determined social climber with a booming voice and a love for candlelight suppers. Keeping up appearances made her a household name and earned her awards and international admiration. But her talent reached far beyond sitcoms. Her commanding stage presence earned her Broadway's highest honor, a Tony Award in 1968 for Darling of the Day. Decades later, she captivated London audiences with an Olivier Award-winning performance in Bernstein's Candide. In Alan Bennett's Talking Heads and Hetty Wainthropp Investigates, she brought unique warmth, clarity, and strength to every role. Patricia was known not just for her performances, but for the quiet mentorship she offered behind the scenes. She encouraged young talent and gave time and support to numerous causes. In 2017, her lifetime of dedication to the arts and charity was formally recognized when Queen Elizabeth II made her a dame. Despite global fame, Patricia never sought the spotlight offstage. She once said, "Life just turned out like that because my involvement in acting was so total." She never married and had no children, but her extended family included generations of viewers and fellow performers who saw her as an inspiration. Following the news of her death, tributes poured in. Etiquette expert Grant Harold called her a true lady in every sense of the word, and William Hanson wrote, "Now off to the candlelight supper in the sky. Thank you for everything." Patricia Routledge died peacefully in her sleep. She is survived by her loved ones and a legacy that continues to bring laughter, wonder, and joy. Her characters, her songs, and her spirit will remain. Tributes to Patricia Routledge. Number 5. Arthur's strength and character were as vital off the field as they were on it. The Baltimore Ravens shared in tribute, words that say so much about the man he was. Arthur Jones passed away at the age of 39, leaving behind a legacy built on passion, perseverance, and heart. Though best known for his years in the NFL, what truly set Arthur apart was the way he inspired those around him, on the field, in the locker room, and in life. A Super Bowl champion with the Baltimore Ravens, Arthur's journey in professional football spanned 8 seasons. His presence on the defensive line was powerful, his work ethic unmatched. Whether with the Ravens, the Colts, or Washington, he brought grit, focus, and leadership. But Arthur's story goes beyond statistics or titles. Born in Rochester, he shared deep roots and lifelong bonds with his brothers, UFC legend Jon Jones and NFL star Chandler Jones. Together, the three pushed each other toward greatness, each carving a path that inspired others. Arthur battled through injuries and setbacks, always with a smile and unstoppable determination. He once shed 25 pounds in 3 weeks to stay competitive, true to form for a man who never backed down from a challenge. Off the field, Arthur mentored young athletes and encouraged others to chase their dreams. His sense of humor and kindness earned him lasting friendships. Teammates remember him not just as a fierce competitor, but as a loyal friend. Humble and grounded, Arthur always put family first. He passed away peacefully, and though the cause of death has been noted respectfully, it's his life we hold close. A devoted brother, cherished teammate, and remarkable athlete, Arthur leaves a lasting mark on all who knew him. As tributes pour in from fans, coaches, and fellow players, one thing is clear: Arthur Jones meant something real to many. His impact was deep, his legacy strong. Tributes to Arthur Jones. Number 4. A witch is a wise woman, not wicked, Patricia Crowther once said. Simple words, but they carried a lifetime of purpose. For over 6 decades, Patricia worked to show the world that witchcraft could be a force of nature, love, and healing. She passed away peacefully at 97, following a long journey with dementia. Her legacy, however, remains bright and clear. Initiated by Gerald Gardner, the pioneer of modern Wicca, Patricia played a vital role in shaping and sharing the craft with the world. Alongside her husband Arnold Crowther, she co-founded the influential Sheffield Coven. Together they helped bring Wicca out of the shadows and into the public eye. Through her books like The Witches Speak and Witchblood, she educated generations on the truth behind witchcraft. In 1971, she brought Wicca to the airwaves with A Spell of Witchcraft, BBC Radio Sheffield's groundbreaking series on modern witchcraft. Calm, confident, and always eloquent, Patricia used her voice to challenge prejudice and teach with compassion. She inspired thousands through public talks, media appearances, and personal mentorship. A champion of the divine feminine, she reminded people that witchcraft stood for moral strength, kindness, and connection to nature. Ashley Mortimer, a friend and fellow high priest, called her one of the last remaining direct initiates of Gerald Gardner. He praised her courage, legacy, and her gift for keeping the craft alive. Patricia Crowther wasn't just a teacher. She was a fierce protector of tradition, a spiritual guide, and a friend to seekers around the world. Her work touched countless lives and will continue to echo through the covens, the books, and the people who carry her teachings forward. While funeral details remain private, an entire spiritual community mourns the loss of a leader they lovingly called a grandmother of the craft. Her students, readers, and fellow witches will keep the candle of her wisdom burning. Patricia leaves behind no children, but her legacy lives in every ritual, every circle, and every person who found their path thanks to her. Tributes to Patricia Crowther. Number 3. People will remember him as TodaY, but I remember Remo as a man of deep integrity and quiet strength, said a longtime colleague. Those words capture the essence of Remo Girone, an actor whose presence lingered long after the final curtain. He passed away at the age of 76 after a short illness, leaving behind a lifetime of storytelling that reached across continents and generations. Born in Asmara and raised in Rome, Remo's love for performance took root early. He trained at the National Academy of Dramatic Arts and began his stage journey in the 1960s. What followed was more than 5 decades of excellence across theater, television, and film. His portrayal of TodaY in the acclaimed series La Piovra made him unforgettable. For over 8 years, he brought chilling precision to the role of the mafia boss. That character became a cultural symbol, forever tied to Italian television history. Remo didn't stop there. He went on to act in international films like Ford v Ferrari, where he played Enzo Ferrari, and Live by Night as mob leader Maso Pescatore. He collaborated with directors such as Ben Affleck and Marco Bellocchio, always bringing emotional depth and elegance to every role. His achievements were widely recognized. He received major lifetime honors, including awards at the Venice and Flaiano film festivals. But more than trophies, it was the respect of peers and the admiration of fans that defined his success. Off-screen, Remo was humble, thoughtful, and always willing to share his wisdom. He mentored young artists and remained deeply curious about the world, whether discussing theater, cities, or life itself. He and his wife, actress Victoria Zinni, raised a daughter, Veronica, and spent their later years in Monaco. Throughout his career, Remo Girone gave his voice, heart, and grace to every story he told. His loss is felt not only in Italy but by all who were touched by his work. As the Italian press wrote, the unforgettable TodaY has taken his final bow, but his impact endures. Tributes to Remo Girone. Number 2, Manchan gifted us a voice for the land, the language, and ourselves. These words, shared by a colleague, capture the quiet power behind his work. Manchan Magan passed away on October 2, 2025, at the age of 55, after a brief illness. His loss has left a deep silence in the hearts of all who were moved by his words and vision. Born in Dublin, he spent over 30 years bringing Ireland's soul to life through books, broadcasts, and films. Whether exploring remote corners of the globe or walking through native woods at home, he carried a curiosity that knew no borders. Magan created more than 70 travel documentaries, giving viewers windows into faraway cultures in the natural world. His acclaimed television series, like Crain na Harayan and An Fod Derianach, celebrated Ireland's natural heritage with poetic reverence. In No Bearla, He courageously navigated the country using only Irish, making a bold and entertaining case for its ongoing relevance. In every project, he sought meaning beyond the surface. His books, such as 32 Words for Field and Listen to the Land Speak, explored the deep ties between Irish identity, language, and the land. Each page encouraged readers to see the world with new eyes, yet it wasn't just his work, it was his way of living. As a passionate environmentalist, he turned his ideals into action, giving up air travel and building homes shaped by sustainability and simplicity. Respected for his gentle spirit and thoughtful presence, Manchan inspired many. He wasn't only charting maps of places, he was drawing out what made those places matter. Following the news of his passing, friends, fans, and collaborators have shared fond memories and gratitude. TG4's Provincias ni Graine called him a national treasure who taught us to look and listen more closely. Manchan Magan leaves behind a body of work as wide-ranging as the journeys he took, and as grounded as the soil he loved. He is survived by those who knew him best, and a legacy that will continue to speak, teach, and inspire. Tributes to Manchan Magan. What's trending on the internet? News 1. Here's a heartfelt story that reminds us of the power of resilience and love in the face of life's toughest surprises. Amy Duggar, whom many remember from her time on TV, recently opened up about her husband, Dylan King, and his remarkable journey to better health. Back in April, 38-year-old Amy and Dylan received daunting news. Dylan had a rare and severe diaphragmatic rupture, causing some of his vital organs to shift into his chest cavity. It was a scary diagnosis, but even more surprising was the discovery that Dylan also has celiac disease, meaning he's sensitive to gluten, something neither he nor Amy had realized during their 10 years of marriage. With this new understanding, the couple transformed their lifestyle and Dylan's health improved literally overnight. From feeling drained and unable to enjoy his favorite activities, Dylan is now back on the golf course and finding joy in everyday life once again. As Amy and Dylan approach their 10th wedding anniversary this September, they reflect on the strength of their bond, built not on perfection, but on shared laughter, honest conversations, and a commitment to facing every challenge side by side. They're celebrating by planning a quiet getaway, grateful for the years behind them and looking ahead with hope. It's stories like these that remind us how love, courage, and a little bit of humor can guide us through the hardest times, leaving a legacy of resilience and togetherness. News 2. Hello everyone. Sometimes our local communities show their true strength in moments that could be frightening, and that was exactly the case this Thursday morning in Audrain County, Missouri. A school bus from the North Callaway R1 school district, carrying 8 students, was involved in a crash with a pickup truck at the intersection of Audrain Road 852 and 845. The ages of the students on board ranged from 9 to 17, showing just how many families might have felt the impact. 5 students and the pickup truck's driver were injured, but thanks to the quick response of emergency crews, school officials, and first responders, including teams from both Callaway and Audrain counties, everyone received immediate care. All injuries were reported as non-life-threatening, and those affected were transported to University Hospital in Columbia. Parents have been contacted, and any students not injured were safely released to their families. This incident reminds us how valuable our first responders and school staff are, stepping in with coordination and compassion during times of need. While the investigation into the crash continues, the North Callaway School District thanked the community for their united efforts, saying, "This community-wide response helped keep students and staff safe." As stories like this spread, it's clear that what stands out isn't just the accident itself, but how people came together to support each other. We're reminded of the power of community, the dedication of our educators, and the bravery of our emergency teams. It's these everyday heroes and their swift, caring actions that truly leave a lasting impression. News 3. Imagine setting out for a peaceful hike, only for nature to remind us of its unpredictable power. That's exactly what happened last week to a young woman who became the focus of a touching community effort in Washington state. 39-year-old Samantha Sayers, or Sam as her friends call her, was reported missing after heading out on a solo hike near Vesper Peak in the Cascade Mountains. Loved ones and authorities grew concerned when she didn't return as planned, but a heavy fog soon rolled in, making search and rescue efforts much more challenging. Sam's story quickly caught the attention of folks not just in her hometown, but across the country online, as people followed updates and shared messages of hope. It's heartwarming to see how strangers can come together, sending prayers and support for one woman's safe return. Teams of volunteers and professionals are doing their very best under tough conditions, showing just how much communities care in times of need. If you know Sam or have information, local police urge you to come forward. Every bit of help counts. While we all hope for a safe and happy ending, what stands out is the outpouring of kindness and action in Sam's honor. Her story is a reminder that, even in challenging moments, people can unite with compassion and determination. However this chapter ends, the spirit of community and support will be what's remembered most. Let's keep Sam and her family in our thoughts, and let's keep believing in the power of people helping people, no matter the obstacles. News 4. Have you ever heard the saying, "Listen when your body whispers, so you don't have to hear it scream"? Jessica Farrington, a vibrant 45-year-old mom from Texas, is making sure those words reach people everywhere. Jessica recently opened up online about missing subtle signs before being diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin follicular lymphoma, a type of cancer that grew quietly while life rushed on. Like so many of us, Jessica chalked up her constant tiredness to motherhood and ignored pesky night sweats, even blaming itchy skin on detergent. She didn't worry much when a hard lump appeared in her armpit, until more followed. Only then did she see her doctor, who quickly ordered tests that led to the diagnosis. Now Jessica shares her story to help others, encouraging everyone, especially folks juggling busy lives and families, to trust their instincts. She reminds us that sometimes small changes may be your body's earliest warning. Today, Jessica uses her platform to empower others, championing early detection and the importance of seeking care when something feels off. Jessica's courage and honesty are inspiring countless Americans to pause and pay attention to their well-being. She'll be remembered not only for her strength in facing this challenge, but for her generosity in helping others catch those whispers before they become shouts. News 5. Few people have touched the world quite like Dr. Jane Goodall, the legendary British primatologist and conservationist who spent over 6 remarkable decades revealing the wonders of the animal kingdom and the deep connections we share with our planet. From her groundbreaking work in the forests of Gombe, Tanzania, where she discovered that chimpanzees use tools and show compassion, to founding the Jane Goodall Institute and inspiring millions through her Roots and Shoots program, Jane's gentle passion forever changed our understanding of nature and ourselves. Jane's legacy is not just scientific. Her life was a celebration of empathy, hope, and action. Even as she traveled over 300 days a year, her heart remained with her family back home in Bournemouth, England, especially her beloved son Grub and her cherished grandchildren. Known for her warm smile, her unwavering optimism, and her heartfelt message that every single one of us makes a difference, Jane encouraged us all to care a little more about animals, our environment, and each other. As we honor Dr. Goodall's incredible life of adventure, discovery, and compassion, let's carry her message forward with kindness and curiosity. Jane taught us that the world is full of hope, and every positive action, no matter how small, truly matters. Number 1. A committed and fearless reporter. These were the words used by Reporters Without Borders to honor Antony Lakin, words that echo across a world that watched through his lens. At just 37, Antony's life was tragically cut short by a drone strike near Drushkivka in eastern Ukraine, while he courageously covered the ongoing war. Yet in that brief life, he left behind stories that few dared to tell. Lakin didn't begin his career behind the camera. Originally an office executive in France, he made a bold shift in 2015, driven by a deep calling to document the realities of people in crisis. That decision led him around the world, and into history. His photo series, Kashmiris, Snapshots of People Facing an Uncertain Future, stands as one of his most celebrated works. With striking honesty and quiet empathy, he captured the faces and lives behind the headlines. His images didn't just tell a story, they helped the world listen. Antony traveled to places others feared, conflict zones, refugee camps, disaster-stricken towns. He went where the need was greatest. His camera showed suffering, but never stripped away dignity. He gave a voice to the overlooked. Beyond his images, it was his presence that moved people. Colleagues speak of his warmth, his patience, and his ability to connect deeply with those he photographed. He mentored young journalists and championed truth even when it came at personal risk. Christophe Deloire of Reporters Without Borders said, Antony Lakin's death is a tragic reminder of the risks journalists take to keep the world informed. His vision and humanity will never be forgotten. Though gone too soon, Antony's legacy remains. It lives in thousands of photographs, each a window into hardship, resilience, and hope. And it lives on in the inspiration he sparked in fellow journalists and those who saw themselves in his work. He is survived by loved ones who are grieving privately. The world grieves with them. The loss of Antony Lakin is felt far beyond any border. His courage, compassion, and commitment will shape generations of storytellers to come. Tributes to Antony Lakin. In every frame, every chord, Chris captured a moment in time that can never be repeated. Chris Drea, the quiet force behind one of rock's most groundbreaking bands,